19 Pros and Cons of Living in Missouri. Missouri, also known as the Show Me State, actually has a lot to show off. Located in the Midwest, the state has plenty to keep tourists and residents alike intrigued. Knowing the pros and cons of the state will help you to decide if it is the kind of state you should be living in. Pros of living in Missouri. A variety of pros exist if you choose to live in Missouri, whether you choose to live in the city or out in the country. 1. Housing costs are low. Buying and renting a home in Missouri is less than in many other parts of the country. Rent is approximately $200 less a month. The average home sells for about $227,000, which is about $100,000 less than the average in the U.S. Every city is different, though you will find some of the most affordable options outside of the major cities of Kansas City and St. Louis. 2. Great barbecue food. Barbecue is highly sought after, and Kansas City is known for delivering barbecue. The sauce is unique, and many people from around the country will recognize Kansas City barbecue as its very own food group. You will find many restaurants throughout the state promoting themselves as the best. Enjoy the pork, the ribs, and the amazing sauce that is drizzled onto all of it. 3. Public transportation. It is easy to get around Missouri because of public transportation. It is not a big deal if you don't own a vehicle, as there are buses and light rail programs. The Metro Transit in St. Louis is particularly helpful as there are stations all over town. It can be an affordable way to get to where you want to go. The best part is that you will never have to search for a parking spot. 4. Low cost of living. Missouri's cost of living is lower than the average in the U.S. You will find that housing, healthcare, groceries, utilities, and more are all lower here. This allows you to save money and live your best life without going broke. The overall cost of living index is 85.9 compared to 100 for the U.S. as a whole. 5. Always something to do. You will always find something to do in Missouri, whether you want to stay indoors or have an adventure outdoors. There are botanical gardens, art galleries, museums, and national parks. You might want to visit Silver Dollar City for some history or the Lake of the Ozarks to enjoy the great outdoors. Countless festivals and fairs take place across the state every year, too. 6. Lots of farms. Agriculture is a huge industry across the state, so you will see farms when you are driving around. Some of the products include corn, soybeans, cotton, and rice. Some of the farms also raise beef, hogs, and turkey. You will find plenty of fresh, local items at your nearest farmer's market so that you can enjoy what the state is harvesting. 7. There's beer and wine. You will find that there is a lot of beer and wine throughout the state. In addition to Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis, there are a lot of microbreweries opening up. Missouri is also home to its very own wine region. Actually, there are 7 of them in Missouri, though 4 are categorized as viticultural areas, 2 in the Ozarks, 1 in Herman, and 1 in Augusta. 8. Sports teams are abundant. Missouri is ranked as one of the most sport-friendly states in the country. This includes Major League Baseball as well as a football team and a hockey team. Even Division I college football is a big deal. Regardless of the time of year, there is a game that you can catch. You will want to show your team spirit with apparel, as almost everyone in the state does. 9. There are lots of random objects. Whenever you are looking for a road trip, you can stay within the state of Missouri. There are random oversized objects that you can drive and see. They are perfect to fill your Instagram page with or simply take selfies with. You will find a 12-foot-long pecan, the world's largest chess piece, and even a 42-foot-tall rocking chair. 10. Lots of outdoor recreation. You will find that there is plenty of things to do outside. Many people get their hunting and fishing licenses because of the opportunities to partake in both. You will also find a lot of hiking and mountain biking trails. The River Scene Trail is a wildly popular area, as is Castlewood State Park. The state's Park and Recreation Department does a lot to encourage people to get outside and enjoy what Missouri has to offer, and much of it is free. Cons of living in Missouri. Some of the cons can be deal breakers, so it is best to know what they all are before you pack your bags. It can help you determine if you can overlook them and enjoy all that the state has to offer. 1. It's hot. There is the ongoing joke that Missouri is nicknamed Misery in the summer because of the hot, humid weather. It can feel like it's stifling outside in June and July. It is not uncommon for the temperature to reach 100 degrees, and it can be a lot to manage, especially if you have not grown up in that kind of heat. When the temperatures get particularly hot, you also have to worry about such things as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. 2. Wages are low. It is important to look at what you can earn in any state that you move to. Missouri's median income is about $6,500 less than what it is around the rest of the U.S. Some of this has to do with the lower than average minimum wage. For some companies, they do not have to pay the state's minimum wage, so people will earn lower. 3. High taxes. The sales tax looks reasonable at first glance. The state's sales tax is 4.225%. However, when you add the local sales tax, it can be as high as 8.29%, and that is quite dramatic considering that the wages are lower within the state. You may feel as though you are spending more on tax than anything else. 4. Quality of life. Many people do not consider the quality of life to be high in Missouri. Some of this is attributed to the gangs that are found on the outskirts of some of the major towns. Others determine it is because of the low-income earners. More people are moving out than moving in, and even professional sports teams have chosen to leave the state in search of better areas to play. 5. Severe weather. The weather can change at any moment with little to no notice. It can be difficult to plan any kind of outdoor event. You may even find that you go through all 4 seasons within a single week. It will get cold, and even snow. It will get really hot. You will also deal with wind and thunderstorms that can lead to a significant amount of rainfall and flooding in a short period of time. You will also have to worry about the occasional tornado. 6. Inclusivity is a problem. There are a lot of reports about Missouri not being as inclusive as they need to be when it comes to healthcare and education. CNBC actually ranked the state as 49th out of 50 in terms of the worst place to live, which is because of the inclusiveness and tolerance. You will find that many races, when polled, do not consider themselves to achieve equality within the state. 7. Pests are abundant. There are a lot of pests that you will have to contend with when you live in Missouri. It can feel like a full-time job if you do not hire a pest company to set the necessary traps. In addition to bugs, you may also encounter rats, squirrels, armadillos, and more on your property. You will want to discover the problem as quickly as possible so that they do not do serious damage. 8. Public education is lacking. The public education system is not the best in Missouri. While it is not the worst, it does typically rank in the bottom half of the states. The high school graduation rate is only 87.6%. Additionally, the college graduation rate within the state is only 26.2%. There is not a lot of state-level funding for education, either, which means that they do not invest as much per student as other states do. 9. It's commonly forgotten. Believe it or not, many people forget about Missouri every year. When people attempt to list out all 50 states, Missouri is the most common state left off of the list. Much of this is because it is not very memorable. It does not have a long list of tourist attractions and it stays out of the news a lot.